الله أكبر الله أكبر.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Hello my dear brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The last case of valid doubts is doubts between 4 and 5, and this one happens while you're standing up. The difference is that you have to sit down, do tashahhud, salam, and after prayer you do one rak'ah of percussion prayer, normally standing up, or 2 rak'ahs while seated. Let me finish our session with telling you the kind of doubts you have to ignore completely if you had them in your prayer. These doubts, if any of them occurred to you, comes to your mind, you should ignore them completely. One is doubt after element. You finished your ruku' and you passed that, you've done your first and second sajdah, and you're almost starting your next rak'ah, and all of a sudden you have doubts about your ruku'. You shouldn't pay attention to this. You've passed that ruku', you've passed the element. Move on. Doubt after salam. You finished your prayer, all of a sudden you can't remember, did I did my ruku' correctly, or worst, did I done my ruku'? You can't remember. It doesn't matter. Move on. You finished your prayer. It's more than after element doubt. It's after prayer doubt. You don't pay attention to that. You ignore it. Doubts after the time of prayer. It's midnight and you have doubts about your zuhr prayer, your midday prayer. You don't pay attention to that. You ignore it. Doubts of someone who has a lot of doubts. Who's that person? He's the person that's having doubts 3 times in one single prayer, or have doubts in 3 prayers in a row. He must not pay attention to his doubts. The next one is doubts in recommended prayer. We'll explain what should we do in recommended prayers. And the last one is when you're doing jama'ah salat al-jama'ah, whether you are imam or ma'moom, whether you're standing in front of the group or you are in the people. If you're in the people and following imam, obviously you should ignore your doubts because you're following someone else and you do whatever he does. And if you are imam and you have doubts, ma'moom must help you. If you're sitting and can't remember whether or not, whether you were doing 3rd or 4th rak'ah, and you're sitting while you should be standing up, ma'moom will help you by telling you, for example, Sami Allahu liman hamidah. This is the dhikr when you stand up. He helps you, or they help you by telling you a dhikr that reminds you have to stand up. These were all valid, invalid doubts, and doubts you shouldn't pay attention to. On the next session, we will tell you some points about doubts in prayer, and we're finished with this session. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.